Hello and welcome back. My name is Myre and it's time for yet another roadmap roundup. So this is our first one of the year, so sorry if you guys have been missing these, but we're back at it now and we're going to be trying to release more Star Citizen content more consistently. But anyway, less on that. Now is the roadmap roundup for April the 27th, 2022. Alright, so let's get into it, shall we? So it says, Happy Wednesday everyone. Every 2 weeks we accompany the roadmap update with a brief explanatory note to give you insight into the decision making that led to any changes. So this is what do they always say, but it's the new year, let's go ahead and read everything. So this is part of an effort to make our communications more transparent, more specific, and more insightful for all of you who helped to make Star Citizen and Squadron 42 possible. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into this week's roadmap roundup. So, notable changes for April 27th, 2022. Progress tracker. So with this publish, we're adding additional Q2 2022 deliveries for downstream teams. This comes alongside a few important changes to some of these teams. So, those of you who've been watching this in the past or who are more familiar with SC developments may know what upstream and downstream means when it comes to game development. So upstream are the people who essentially do all the beginning things, you know, like ideation, concepts, that kind of thing. People who make the engine and everything else. People downstream need that content those people make to make their things. So essentially, let's say a concept artist is somebody who is upstream, because they need to make the concepts that then flow downstream for then the graphic artist and stuff to turn those concepts into actual assets in game. So we're going to be seeing a few more of these downstream teams. These, I guess, for us, you know, the gamers, like, I suppose this is like the actual substance of these downstream teams. Okay, so vehicle tech team. So we've transitioned work on Arena Commander, Star Marine, and Theaters of War from Firesprite to the internal vehicle tech team. This team is now named the Arena Commander feature team and will have additional deliverables added to their schedule as time goes on. Okay, so now all those three things are now going to be one, and Firesprite, of course, are the company who are not CIG, but they're being contracted to help make sure that things like Arena Commander, which is the dogfighting testbed, Star Marine, the FPS testbed, and Theaters of War with the combined arms testbed yet to be released, are all, you know, up to date and they don't fall by the wayside. Alright, so vehicle feature and vehicle experience. So, with this publish, the vehicle experience team is merging with the vehicle feature team, including all their deliverables. The reason for this is twofold. So first, this allows for greater streamlining of production for these two teams. Second, the vehicle feature team is now having its feature direction driven by Squadron 42's requirements. Deliverables worked on by this newly merged team will now follow a similar cadence to the core gameplay pillar, in that features will be made for Squadron 42 first, before that then being ported to the persistent universe. So all in all, this just makes more sense. Squadron 42 is a single-player game that's not Star Citizen, but is more like a sister game that they are essentially working on first. It's the thing that essentially was, I suppose, like pledged way back in the beginning of development for Star Citizen. And the idea is that they want to make sure that these features and stuff are, you know, fit for purpose for the single-player game before then being put into Star Citizen, instead of being put into Star Citizen the MMO as a thing that exists, but may not necessarily have any actual gameplay implications just yet. Think of things like the trolleys, for instance, that don't do anything yet. So, UI feature team. So similar to the above, the UI feature team has been renamed the Squadron 42 UI feature team. This team now falls under the core gameplay pillar and will also follow a similar cadence as outlined for the vehicle feature team. So essentially, features will at least be somewhat serviceable before now entering Star Citizen, because they need to be made sure that they're fit for purpose first for the single-player game. The following deliverables have also been added to the progress tracker. So AR and map marker system rework. So rework of the AR and map marker systems to work with building blocks, which is the new system that they have to allow us to use menus and stuff in a more diegetic way. So this has been added to the Squadron 42 UI feature team schedule. Door airlocks and lighting panel UI. So again, this is for creating user interface for doors, airlocks, and everything else into building blocks again, and that's also with that same team. A mobiGlass rework. Okay, so reworking the mobiGlass system to use building blocks, which will allow for easier development of mobiGlass apps. So right now, the mobiGlass is in a weird state in Star Citizen because like it is using both building blocks for certain aspects of it, but also the older and forgive me, I always forget what the name of this older like tech is, but essentially it's much harder to code and make things for the mobiGlass using that old stuff. It's Flash based, but I forget exactly what it's called. But yeah, so that they're reworking the mobiGlass, hopefully to make it more usable in the future. So visor and lens rework. So converting the visor and lens systems for building blocks for improved performance and flexibility. So if the visor is getting building blocks reworking, that's actually kind of interesting because for those who play Star Citizen now in 3.17, you'll notice that things like the ASOP vehicle terminals have building blocks right now. So if somebody walks up to a terminal and say wants to pull up one of their ships, you can see them interacting with that screen because building blocks allows for the data within those screens and terminals to not just be, you know, client facing, but server side and facing everybody, which will mean eventually when, you know, we have more building blocks features for, let's say, spaceships and their consoles and terminals, you as a captain can look over the shoulder of your science officer and see exactly what they're doing and, you know, like correct them if need be. Having it on their visors and lenses essentially just means that, like, let's say somebody's helmet has like a HUD element on the bottom left and that changes. You as a player in third person will be able to see that change, not only if you are the actual character with the third person camera, but also as another person. So just in general, immersion. Alright, so that's everything for the roadmap for this fortnight, but I do want to just double check this mobiGlass rework on the actual roadmap itself and see if there is anything else added to it. So let's go ahead and look for mobiGlass rework right here. So no, this is the exact same description, and as you can see here, this is scheduled to start development at the beginning of May and end towards the beginning of July. So that's not a very long sprint for them to do this mobiGlass rework, so I'm looking forward to that. Alright. Anyway, that's that for the roadmap roundup for this fortnight. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Once again, I've been Myre, and I do hope that we'll have more SC content on this channel on YouTube more frequently. You can also follow us on Twitch TV and catch us doing stuff there as well. We've kind of like gone towards maybe perhaps a more roleplay kind of like thing there right now, as well as playing other games too. Anyway, less of that. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please, you know, do the thing, like and subscribe. More lore videos, more tutorials, more everything. Hopefully we'll be getting onto this channel sooner and hopefully at a faster pace. All right, until then though, guys, as always, be good.